All right, traders, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to be breaking down a few things in the market in the video. Now, primarily, I will cover some AMC, going over some of the game plan going into this week, going over futures, things like that. This is going to be a little bit different of a video, a little bit of a ramble, but I think it's a very important video because it's going to give you an outlook of what's going on with the market and kind of some of the things I'm talking about, especially on my Twitter, because I'm very concerned with the overall scale of the market. I will say right now, though, I'm still very bullish on AMC. I think that out of most stocks in the market, that it has the most actual upside and looks very safe right now, all things considered. Even with the poor week that we had last week, the very strong whipsaw up and down, AMC stayed performing very well. You had that retrace back down, but then a strong bounce back up, showing the immense buying pressure. So I want to be stated before we even get into the video, so you know that. Like, subscribe, do what you gotta do. Let's get to it.
I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe I already.
Before we even go into the AMC chart, which I'm going to here in a second, I want to talk about futures and I want to talk about my concerns with the market. Now, I'm not going to pop up any articles. You can look at them if you want. I've been retweeting them and kind of going over that on my Twitter. So if you want to get any sort of news information, my Twitter is actually a decent source for that because I'm sharing stuff as I get it and as I'm kind of reacting to it as well. And then I'm giving my thoughts as well on that. Now, in my opinion, we are in one of the most uncertain markets, and I expressed this on my Twitter yesterday, but I don't think people really understood what I was saying. The number one thing for the market that is the most bearish thing for the market is when there's uncertainty, because ultimately investors want certainty. If you're going into an investment, you want to have the most certainty possible that you're going to make money on it. Right now, there is a world of uncertainty. The fact that our market keeps rebounding back to the upside is a huge, giant red flag, in my opinion. I think that we've been due for a pullback, and we haven't really had it, and we just keep scaling back up. Now, I know Kathy Wood came on and said that we're not in a bubble. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. If you look at how our economy is moving and how things haven't retraced since really the breakup from COVID, and I understand that our economy is changing because of COVID and that maybe tech has accelerated, 10 years to what we thought it would be. However, what I will say is that we are definitely in a crucial time right now. I think long-term buying is very stupid when it comes to the markets. And if you look in Afghanistan, no news outlet is talking about this. And I don't mean to be a conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but the fact that we are still talking about Trump, I get it. The guy was a douche, a jerk, and he said really terrible things. I get it. I'm not a Trump supporter, not a Biden supporter. I just like stocks. But what I will say, the fact that they are talking about him and not talking about what's going on in the Middle East, about the people in the Middle East that are Americans that are supposedly being beaten and being treated wrongly, because the one person that dies in Afghanistan from the Taliban, I can guarantee there will be madness on Wall Street. There will be so much uncertainty. Will we be going to war? Will we be bombing them? What are the repercussions? What could be happening? And when that happens, the stock market will drop, in my opinion. This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion on the market and hopefully getting some feedback from you guys as well. Now, if you looked on Friday, or I believe it was Thursday, we had a bomb threat at the Pentagon, I believe, and the market absolutely dropped instantly. But guess what? News sources were not covering that. They are not covering the major things we need to be talking about. These are the bearish cases for the market. And I don't mean to scare anyone, but ultimately, if you're all in on these investments and the market just starts tanking, you could start losing a lot of money. That's why I'm primarily liquid, getting in and out of options. So when this does happen, I can take a full advantage of the dip, because that's the time people make a majority of their money. Now, if you look at what's going on besides Afghanistan, look at what's going on with Turkey. They've already had agreements with Russia saying that once the Taliban takes full control of Afghanistan and the US is completely gone, that they're all going to start working together. I mean, they're literally making the Legion of Doom. And I'm not talking about the Seattle Seahawks defense. This is absolutely terrifying when you think about it. You have China trying to take over Taiwan, doing the same thing that basically the Taliban just did in Afghanistan. If China does that, I can guarantee we most likely go to war. Taiwan has already stated, Japan has already stated, all these countries have stated, if China takes over or tries to take over Taiwan, there will be a war. This will be very bad. And if there is war, I know typically after war, the stock market goes up because it does drive up supply and demand. But if you look at it in the beginning, it will cause crisis and it will cause a huge scare. And in my opinion, the markets will hurt. But that's going to be enough of the gay bear theory. Let's get to AMC. All right, so what we're looking at is the 1 hour chart. And I know I kind of just jumped topics very quickly, but I had to address that. I had to. if you want more opinions on that, my viewpoints of what I'm doing with the market, follow me on Twitter. But yeah, so as you see here, we're looking at the 1 hour chart. This is where I want to stay at for today. I've done a better TA yesterday, full TA on AMC either yesterday or the day before that. If a double bottom here in the 1 hour, you're pushing back up and you've reclaimed that weekly level. Look at what happened the last time we had that weekly level. You came down, you flagged, you got back above it, and you pushed back up. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, I don't want to say this is a flag. I don't want to say that. It's not exactly the same thing, but you're reclaiming it back above VWAP. Very strong to end the week. A lot of buying pressure there as well. As of right now, the indexes are up, even with the absolute crisis that we're sitting in, and it looks like Joe Biden's most likely going to get impeached in the coming few months. But I guess, you know, the bulls are in control. So as you see this, in my opinion, opening up, we look very good. I'm looking for a retest of $37.5, $38. If we mount this area, which I think is a high possibility that we start pushing up and then mounting like this, that's going to be an area that I'm looking to buy more AMC options. If you push up and then come back down and retest, I think there's a lot of potential. I think we could easily see a $42 retest this week. I think it's a high possibility, maybe 41 or 40.5, this range here, a little bit lower, but my money's on this right here. Now, a big thing that I'm looking at, this light blue line is the 200 EMA. I want to see a strong breakthrough of the VWAP in the 200 EMA. The last time that happened is when you had your really big overall trend breakout. You were just stagnating, and boom, you shot up and kind of never came back down. So that's what you're seeing right now. You kind of came up, came back down, consolidating sideways. You're getting that move back up. Also, we need to look at now. You know, I'm always talking about this right here. This is it. This is the big Q, and that's made me such a big overall bulls. You come back out, we're gonna look at what's going on. That huge breakout you're getting on the OBV, and you're gonna hear me talk about this over and over, and this is what I talked about back in May. You started to see this crazy breakout on the volume, and it just looks like buyers are stepping back in, and ultimately this is what you want. So I'm not calling for, you know, $100 test of AMC. I don't think that's really in the works until the beginning of the year or maybe the end of this year, but as of right now, I think you're hot right now. I think the market's absolutely gorgeous. All the charts look beautiful and in favor of AMC. The 4 hour retest was gorgeous as well. I'm a very, very big bull when it comes to AMC. So I got to make that abundantly clear. But for this week, what I'm looking for, the first retest where I'll probably look to sell some of my options, it's going to be 37.5, right? And then I'll keep some, hold them if we break above, let those run, and then retesting, I'll have to buy some more options, of course, and then try to play that 42 test. I don't know if we're going to get a break of 42. I'll probably make a killing on those options, so I'll have to readjust my position. But ultimately, that's what I think is going to happen, and I think it's a great opportunity right now. Also, on the 4 hour, you never broke that 200 EMA. You held it. You look very, very strong, and I expect some sort of bounce back up. I do think $52 will come in the next month and a half, but I think right now 42 is where I have my eye for the test. This is a gorgeous setup, double bottom. You're making higher lows. You're making higher highs here as well, so it looks gorgeous. Great setup, very bullish. Love AMC. Okay, so I want to talk about Pfizer really quick, and I'm going to come down to a lower time frame so we can see this a little bit better. We're going to go to the 1 hour. Now with Pfizer, this is a little bit different of a play. We played a great run at the top, made lots of money. A lot of people were DMing me. They had a great trade here. Congratulations. Congratulations for actually taking profits as well. Like, kudos to you. Like, seriously, not being sarcastic. Right now, this does look like a bearish pattern. I'm going to be 100% transparent, honest. You're getting somewhat of a bear flag, and you're breaking back down. And I thought you were going to get a retest of this 48.2 range, and that's what I was telling Discord and talking about all day Friday and Thursday. That's what I thought was going to happen. Now, you're going into this week with the momentum of most likely getting a FDA approval going into Monday, the first vaccine with FDA approval. Absolute huge news. That gets in this thing into the stratosphere. And the big thing they're looking at are going to be these key ranges here. So at $50, you have lots of options. Lots right there. And then your next really big one is going to be about $52 as well, which is an area that we tested for a very brief moment up here. Now, these aren't targets. You need to understand that. So what I think could happen, if you get the momentum on Pfizer, if you get any buying momentum and start pushing above 50 this week, early in the week especially, I very much think that you can definitely start having that sort of gamma squeeze again. Now, I want to make things clear. People are saying, Tyler, wasn't there a gamma squeeze? You lied, this, that. Now, you need to understand, Pfizer is a huge cap stock. Massive. It's actually bigger than Moderna when you look at the market cap. So getting this type of move on Pfizer was just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, you've really been pushing in a bull trend over the past few weeks, but look at this run you had from 46 all the way to 52 in the matter of like a week or 5 days over, starting Wednesday into the next Wednesday. So that was absolutely great. And you couldn't really do any better than that. Now, people saying, this wasn't a gamma squeeze, you couldn't make that much money. People were going to, differ with your opinion when you look at Twitter, because people were making 300, 400, 500% gains that held their options all the way through and then sold locally somewhere above 50, 51 range, because those started to get back in the money because they were only worth 50 cents here. And then once they were here, obviously they're worth almost $3. So congratulations once again. I'll post when I'm getting into this. Monday, looks like a great opportunity. But I think you have to be vigilant of what's going on. You still have this trend line. You're broke beneath it. And it is a little scary. You're back below VWAP on the 1 hour and 4 hour. You need to get back above VWAP, holding that line, because you can't really hold it as of right now. But again, I do think momentum can start creeping back into here. And on the after hours, Pfizer and I think BioNTech, we're doing very, very well. Those are going to be on my radar. And Moderna does have some bad news, so that does side with Pfizer doing very well also. All right, so that's going to wrap up the video when it comes to the stocks that I'm looking at. I know it's only 2 stocks right now, but as the week does play out, I'll probably look at some other stocks, because I am pretty bearish on the market. Even though Nasdaq and indexes look strong, I have to be very conservative just with what's going on. Now, Pfizer has a lot of opportunity, but I'm not in a position yet. I've been really conservative. I've been watching the dip. AMC is the position that I have right now, and I really do like it. Bitcoin's pushing 50K as we speak, so those are going to come up pretty strong, but I'm not going to be trading those either. Now, you need to be watching the way the market moves. You need to be watching indexes and what's going on globally, because one bad piece of news from Afghanistan and everything could come tumbling down, including Pfizer, including AMC, including your favorite stock. It doesn't really matter. We've seen AMC have great runs, and then the economy starts taking a hit because of other world news, and AMC follows. It's just the way the market works. And it's not really manipulation. It's just if the rest of the market's dumping, high possibility your stock's going to dump as well. That doesn't mean that there's some bear out there spamming the sell button and 3,000 dark pulls going off at once, and then they're just laughing at little old Timmy in the corner holding his AMC stock. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Back tomorrow. Namaste.
I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a problem, but that don't mean money.